We have to go ahead and lock him down. We have to keep him separated from the general population.
That's the way to do it. And you throw him over the sidelines like a piece of trash, which is sick and tired of this. It's another PR own goal.
40s now, still fighting with these random people in random places.
Yeah.
For 5 million here, 10 million there.
No, he's just a big spender. You can't spend like that.
Piers Morgan went off on Floyd Mayweather after reports claimed the boxing star had gone broke in a wild $42 million scam. The news caused intense discussions across social media, TV shows, and finance experts, casting doubt on one of the richest athletic careers ever. But what exactly set off Morgan's fiery reaction, and how did Mayweather, once bragging about $100 million deals and a flashy lifestyle, fall into such a major financial disaster?
Crazy. I bought myself out my contract from Top Rank for $750,000. When I left them, the McGregor, the Pacquiao, and the Canelo fight, I made $750 million just with those 3 fights.
Floyd Mayweather is the most successful boxer in history with a 50-0 record, and one of the wealthiest athletes of all time with $1 billion in earnings. But I bet you didn't know it all started with a $750,000 bet on himself. Here's the wild story. In 2006, Floyd Mayweather was 10 years into his boxing career and earning over $5 million per fight. At the time, Mayweather was signed to Bob Arum's Top Rank boxing promotion, a partnership which saw Arum get 25% of Mayweather's fight purse. But Mayweather wanted more, and in 2006, he turned down $8 million to fight Antonio Margarita and said he deserved $20 million to fight Oscar De La Hoya. Arum wasn't happy and wouldn't pay up, so Mayweather paid the $750,000 exit fee in his contract to leave Top Rank. Mayweather then went on to promote his own fights, earning a percentage of every ticket, hot dog, and beer sold at the event, and most importantly, all pay-per-views sold. And just 1 year later in 2007, after leaving Top Rank, Mayweather made $25 million for his win against Oscar De La Hoya. Now that's what happens when you bet on yourself.
Floyd Mayweather was more than a champion. He became a symbol of money, fame, and bold living. With a perfect 50-0 fight record, his matches pulled in billions of dollars. His earnings from blockbuster fights like the ones with Manny Pacquiao and Conor McGregor reached into the hundreds of millions.
What did people do for you? What gift could they give Floyd Mayweather?
Oh, they bought watches like this.
What in the world is that? I've never seen anything like that in my lifetime. Oh my gosh.
This is what we do.
Just gifts. Yeah, right. Oh my gosh. Can I see that thing again? Oh my God, that's the most beautiful thing. I don't even want to go near it. Oh my gosh.
Mayweather was known for flashing bundles of money online, rocking million-dollar watches, and buying private jets on impulse. His image was over the top. He turned himself into more than a fighter. He became a business empire, landing endorsements, side ventures, and even exhibition fights built for giant payouts.
Does Floyd Mayweather, is he as rich as we think he is?
No.
So when we see the $1 million in the bag,
that money, light money, like he can get his hands on that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you can't,
I need some of that light money. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Anytime like that, look, he is who he is. You can't discredit who he is. Like, and again, I'll tell you, like, I don't mind, telling the truth in situations like this.
Mayweather Jr. has been known for his extreme riches, with reports saying he earned over $1.5 billion during his boxing run. Still, critics like rapper 50 Cent have doubted how long his wealth would last. In a 2020 chat, 50 Cent claimed Mayweather's wild spending had eaten into...
Pose for this, or was this just...
I guess it's something that they just made up.
Something made up. Do you think they're going to paint over that when it goes as everyone seems to think it's going to go?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. You should buy that gym from him and knock it down with a wrecking ball.
We can do that. I'll do something. You can do that. You can potentially make...
How much money could you reasonably walk out of this fight with?
350 million.
$350 million.
Yes. Wow.
I know you love money, right? I mean,
it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool.
How did you get the nickname Money? Did you name yourself Money, or was somebody else?
They just started calling me it.
They just started calling it. You always have a lot of money with you.
A little bit.
Yeah. I have a picture of, this is from Instagram. You're on what looks like a private plane, just with a whole...
No, my private plane.
Your private plane, sorry. with a whole lot of money and it looks like a couple of bowls of ketchup maybe also.
No.
Are you eating this money?
Those are cup holders.
Oh, those are cup holders. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't have a private plane.
Oh, you didn't flew them.
What do you do with all this money? I mean, like, do you actually use it? I mean, are you using the cash?
And, you know, cash is king.
Do you have an ATM card?
I'm the human ATM.
But behind the sparkle and glam, big issues were growing. Finance professionals have long warned that reckless spending, risky deals, and no steady income could ruin even the richest stars. For Mayweather, those warnings appear to have finally come true.
There's a flex happening with Floyd Mayweather that we were all cheering and congratulating him from, but we might need to put a pin in that as some evidence comes forward that things may not be how they seem. So a couple weeks back, I talked about it here on the show. Floyd Mayweather said he dropped $402 million on 62 Manhattan rental buildings. But Business Insider went and did the research. They did their Googles, and they said they couldn't find any receipts that this is true. There were no deed transfers, no public records, nothing. They made some phone calls to owners, and they could not find any information regarding this transaction. Floyd has gone on interviews and discussed it. You know, of course, 50 Cent dropped in with his troll thing and put the interview up and the information about it and said he bought them in his imagination. Same place he read all those Harry Potter books, because 50 gone 50. My question is, does Floyd, was he swindled in some sort of business deal?
Mayweather Jr., still undefeated, grabbed headlines for a big property deal in New York City. In October 2024, he signed an agreement to buy more than 60 low-cost housing buildings in Upper Manhattan for about $42 million. The deal includes over 1,000 units and is one of the biggest multi-building purchases the city has seen in years.
In Floyd Mayweather, in this article, it states that he's spending $402 million in real estate investment in a 1,000-unit affordable housing portfolio in Upper Manhattan. The portfolio includes over 60 buildings and is one of the city's largest real estate deals of the year.
Wow. Well, thank you, Floyd Mayweather, for investing into New York real estate.
Early court files and investigation reports show that Mayweather poured hundreds of millions into projects managed by unqualified financial advisors, some of whom now face criminal charges. Shockingly, these investments were made without proper background checks, a move veteran investors would call financial disaster.
I don't know about nobody else, but Money May love his sneakers. As you can see, I got them stacked all the way up to the top. And I gotta let people know it's sneakers in every box. I ain't stacking just a bunch of boxes, bunch of sneakers. You know how we do. Waiting one time only. What's the game? Jenga? I don't know the name of it. Let's stack it, let's go. You know, it's dangerous up here. It'll look high, but it's high. Let's stack. We did it. Money May, and y'all know the rest.
Even with money troubles swirling, Mayweather won't let the world forget he's still Money Mayweather in terms of style. In a recent viral post, the retired champ gave fans a tour of his jaw-dropping sneaker stash. Neatly arranged in his giant closet were hundreds of rare, expensive shoes, from limited edition Jordans to luxury Nike collabs and custom Louis Vuitton pairs, leaving sneaker lovers.
I'm the pioneer of all the.
You are the pioneer.
This all started with the Mayweather McGregor. I started this. So, and then remember, I done an exhibition over in Tokyo. Then everybody. Now you see all the professional fighters. So, I'm happy that I was able just to do something different and put eyes on me where everybody can do it.
Oh, well, you know, I take my hat off to Chef Ed Senior. He's a legend in the sport of boxing. He's one of the guys that opened up the door for myself. But, of course, you know, I'm still in tip-top condition. And he's a lot older now, you know. Even when we was younger, that would have been a great matchup. But you just don't, you never know. I heard that he posted us and talked about us doing a fight. But I'll be in a no-win situation if I did that.
Piers Morgan has been loud about his dislike of Mayweather's post-retirement exhibition fights, often slamming them. While exact quotes from Morgan on this aren't always available, his general opinion matches many boxing fans who say these events hurt Mayweather's legacy.
As somebody since I'm 8 years old, this was my idol. It's a tremendous honor, but make no mistake, June 11th, I'm bringing bad intentions to that man, and I don't care if an exhibition or not. You signed to fight me, it's no quarter, so it's kill or be killed.
Another big event, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a crazy crowd, I'm pretty sure, but I've been here so many times, you know, I've been fighting since 1987 to now, so I know what it takes when, you know, at any level, so I'm just happy to be here.
I watched every one of his fights. I've never seen anybody throw combinations with the intent and the speed and the accuracy of that man, and I was captivated that night on. So I've been Team Mayweather since I'm 9 years old, but like I said, when it's time to get to business, we're going to get to business. We're going to fight.
I will continue to have fun, entertain, until I'm ready to say, you know what, enough is enough.
Mayweather has done several exhibition matches with internet stars and other non-professional opponents. While these fights made him a lot of money, critics say they lack real competition and could harm the sport's image. Mayweather hasn't backed down from the backlash. He's openly defended his exhibition bouts, saying they're more about fun and entertainment than serious fighting. Despite critics, Mayweather still pulls big crowds and massive paychecks. For example, he earned around $20 million for a 6-minute match against Japanese MMA fighter Mikuru Asakura, proving these fights pay well.
Mayweather retired from boxing 50-0. That individual that he was fighting right there is the grandson of the late infamous mobster John Gotti. I am not aware of John Gotti III having any real kind of boxing background. I did not see the fight, although I heard he lost every round and Floyd Money Mayweather was whipping him pretty good. I was not there. I did not see it. I do not know. Here's what I do know, which is where my disappointment comes from. When you are as great as Floyd Money Mayweather, everybody doesn't deserve to be in your space.
In a recent exhibition match with John Gotti III, Mayweather showed he still had the moves, taking control of the fight and proving he's still a force in the ring. Sports host Stephen A. Smith said these events are hurting Mayweather's legacy, calling them more showbiz than sport, and suggested Mayweather should only fight worthy opponents who've earned the spotlight.
Out on the street, anything like that. Boxing is your thing. Ladies and gentlemen, you can't see just anybody on the basketball court playing against LeBron James. He won't do it. He doesn't have to. It's a waste of his time. You might see footages of Dwayne Wade training his son. You don't see Dwayne Wade playing against just anybody. He's not doing it. You haven't earned that privilege. It's a privilege to be in the company of greatness, in their venue, in their habitat, in their specialized, home, per se. Floyd Money Mayweather should not be letting just anybody in the ring with him. That's my only point.
Well-known people in boxing have spoken out about Mayweather's choice of opponents and the nature of his exhibitions. Stephen A. Smith, a top sports analyst, slammed Mayweather for stepping in the ring with people who haven't earned it. He said these fights confuse real competition with entertainment, and added, "This isn't a movie."
Floyd Mayweather fought another exhibition against Gotti last Saturday. A real the crowd booing in the arena at the end. But in the middle of the second round, Floyd literally had the referee swapped out. He didn't like that the referee told him to stop hitting behind the head. Floyd is used to having the refs do whatever he wants, and he wasn't getting his way this time. It was so embarrassing. Floyd, you're 50 years old. You're a legend in the sport. I've stood up for you in countless interviews, including Shannon Sharp's podcast last week. But you have to stop embarrassing yourself with these exhibitions. I know life is hard. I know life is expensive. But come on, dude, put your legacy first. Nobody wants to remember you like this. And it gets worse. Your jeweler filed a lawsuit against you in Miami. And many are saying you're going to have to sell off your assets. I hate seeing this happen, bro.
Oscar De La Hoya, a former rival and now promoter, also criticized Mayweather's exhibition against John Gotti III. He called the match shameful and urged Mayweather to think about how these events could damage his long-term reputation, saying, "You've got to stop making a joke of yourself with these shows."
She is a transgender non-binary.
Well,
how can you be transgender and non-binary?
Because that's what they are.
I thought non-binary meant you were neither one nor the other.
Okay.
Male to female, female to male. Turns out the non-binary is not the same as transgender, or it is.
I don't want to put words in their mouth, but I would say that's probably because they're not allowed to take the correct amount of testosterone because they are still playing in the women's team.
The other half of this is what if they don't compete against women born to female bodies, what happens to trans athletes? Now, I think there's one of two things you can do. Either they compete against their biological sex, which most of them have done anyway for many years, actually never as successfully as they do when they compete against women, which I think is the argument right there. Or you create an entirely new category. There are more and more, as you said, at grassroots level, you create an entirely new category for trans athletes to compete against other trans athletes.
Piers Morgan has strongly spoken against transgender women joining women's sports, saying it threatens fairness and safety. He argues that biological traits like muscle size and bone strength give trans women advantages that hormone treatment can't fully remove. Morgan has used examples like Paralympic runner Valentina Petrillo to raise concerns about fairness in female sports.
Would you allow, somebody like Anthony Joshua to box in women's boxing in a year's time if he had the treatment?
There's a weight category issue. I'm not sure about the weight categories. He'd be a lot bigger than any woman, but if he was in a woman's size weight category, yes, I would.
You would let Floyd Mayweather, who is pound for pound the most successful boxer in male history, you would let him in a year's time compete at the same weight against women?
Yeah, if there's a weight category.
This is nonsense. I'm sorry.
It's absolute
How
garbage.
could you possibly countenance putting Floyd Mayweather, the most dangerous boxer pound for pound, arguably in the history of boxing, into a ring with women born to female bodies? This is where the argument becomes utterly ridiculous. And it's not transphobic to say so, it's common sense.